Okay, so this is the first time I've heard Wei Qian openly and extensively talked about what it is that he might be feeling for Xiao Yuan, even though he's not certain as to exactly what it is. But the fact that he's actually talking about this out loud is huge for Wei Qian, and really big thanks to Sun Pang for bringing it out of him. He talked about his fear of losing Xiao Yuan, and he also mentioned a few instances where he could have very well lost Xiao Yuan and that he wouldn't know exactly what to do without Xiao Yuan. He can't picture his life moving forward without Xiao Yuan. But at the same time, he's not 100% sure exactly what it is that he's feeling for Xiao Yuan. He's not sure if this is even love. And if it is, then the question then becomes, is it brotherly or is it romantically? He seems to be struggling to pinpoint exactly what it is. I can't imagine how hard this must be for Wei Qian to have to deal with this type of dilemma. Trying to understand what it is you're feeling towards your adopted brother. You know, this brother who you took in as a kid, you fed, you taught, you protected, and you practically raised. You know, all he wanted for Xiao Yuan and Xiao Bao is to grow up healthy and be happy, because that's what older brothers do. That's what we want for our younger siblings. So trying to switch from that role as an older brother, as a protector, to a potential romantic partner to the same person that you've raised, that you saw as your brother, must be so hard. I can't imagine how difficult that must be mentally. And I think that's one of the reasons why Wei Qian is struggling distinguishing between love for your brother versus love for a romantic partner, because of his role as an older brother. That's always been his role. That's always how he's been to his siblings. All of a sudden, his younger brother is expressing his romantic feelings towards you. What do you do? And Wei Qian isn't really denying that he has this feeling, really strong feelings towards Xiao Yuan, but he's not sure if it's brotherly or romantic. He hasn't seemed to figure that out just quite yet. But at least now he's able to talk about it out loud, and he doesn't have to worry too much about keeping it in secret. So hopefully, with that pressure being taken off his shoulders of trying to hide it, he's able to hopefully process his thoughts and really get to the bottom of this, and to determine and try to understand what it is he might be feeling, and is it really love for his brother or love for a romantic partner. But the fact that he's having difficulty distinguishing between two suggests to me that what he's feeling is more than just brotherly love for Xiao Yuan. But it looks like Xiao Yuan is continuing to insist on being more than just Wei Qian's younger brother. We'll see how long he'll have to keep this up until Wei Qian finally gives in. I also wonder if Wei Qian's perception of his current health status also plays a role in his reluctance to really give in to this feeling. Assuming that they became a couple, I wonder if he thinks that Xiao Yuan would get hurt even more should something happen to him because of his health. Does he think that his time is limited, that getting into a relationship with anyone, not just with Xiao Yuan, wouldn't really make a lot of sense? I don't know, it was just a thought. It may not even be the case. But regardless, his health is not getting any better. He really needs to take it seriously. Everyone around him has been urging him to get that check. Even Dr. Lin has already referred him to go to a bigger hospital because it's beyond his capacity to treat him. And Wei Qian is still very reluctant to go. And I can understand why. You know, he's afraid that what if he's not able to make it out of the hospital once he goes in. It's a valid fear. I have that fear too. I'm scared, even though I work in a hospital, but it's a very terrifying place to be in if your mind is specifically in that space. But Wei Qian's fear isn't just for him, but I believe it's primarily for his siblings. Even though they're adults, but he still worries about them. What's gonna happen to them if something terrible happens to me? Even though we know that Xiao Bao and Xiao Yuan can pretty much handle themselves, of course they'll be devastated, but I think as an older brother, I can understand where that fear is coming from. But Xiao Yuan wanted Wei Qian to go to the hospital and get this checked because he doesn't want it to get worse, obviously. Wei Qian seems to think that by keeping this to himself, that he's protecting his siblings, keeping them from worrying about his health. But the same behavior, being secretive and isolative and not really sharing a lot about his condition to his siblings, especially to Xiao Yuan, isn't being viewed by Xiao Yuan as protecting them. If anything, Xiao Yuan sees this as a very selfish move of their older brother. And he even called him out on this at the kitchen table. He said, this isn't just about you. Xiao Yuan was visibly upset by that, by the fact that Wei Qian kept all of this from him and he would have to talk to Sanpang about it and get it out of Sanpang. Speaking of Sanpang, I love him so much. I love the fact that he's been so supportive to this family since the beginning of time. I forgot about the fact that I think he owns, or his family owns, the building or the house that they've been living in since they were younger, and he really kept that rent low. That's a big help. But aside from that, Sanpang has always been there for the family, especially during tough times. He is not afraid to talk to the siblings individually if he needed to and offer support. He's always been there to accompany them, to let them vent, to let them process their thoughts and help them find solutions to their problems. He's a family to them. And I don't think Wei Qian would have opened up the way he did if it wasn't for Sanpang. If Sanpang didn't decide to just show up out of nowhere unannounced to his house and to, in a way, challenge Wei Qian to really think about what is it that he's afraid of? What is it that's holding him back with regards to what's happening between him and Xiao Yuan? So Sanpang really pushed Wei Qian out of his comfort zone and got him to talk. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. We are nearing the end. I can't believe I am this far along into this series. I know it's taking me so long. Thank you for being so patient as always. That is it for us today. Thank you so much for being here and thank you for your time. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss my next video. Until then, I will see you later.